I remember I was coaching a speaker, and she said to me that she spoke to an organization and they're really excited to bring her in, and she's going to be speaking for an hour, and she's at the conference, and it's going to be a great event. And I just simply asked, did you mention your fee? And she's like, no, we're going to talk about that later. I just wanted to start the conversation. And so I said, go back, talk to the organizer, make sure there's a budget. Sure enough, she comes back to me and says, they don't have a budget. And so that led me to think to myself, you know what? I need to create a speaker fee conversation on how to go about negotiating speaker fees. Now, I'm not going to talk about how much you should charge because it's different from country to country, different industries. There's so many factors that go into what you should charge, level of experience, etc. You can send me a message privately if you'd like to talk about what your fee should be, but let's just talk about what I call the ABCs, and I'm going to add a D as well, to speaker fees and how to go about that conversation when you're talking to an organizer. The first step, A, is to ask if there's a budget. Like I just mentioned, sometimes you may be talking to an organizer that thinks you're coming in for free when really you're not, when really you want to get paid. If you want to speak pro bono sometimes, that is okay, but make sure you're on the same level and you both have that understanding. So what I'll do is I'll get on the phone and I'll be talking to someone. I'll say, is there a budget for your event? That's it. Sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes you'll see past speakers and you'll know they pay. But a lot of times you just have to ask the question, make sure it's out there right up front, then get into the conversation. Ask if there's a budget. Now, I typically actually start with what their needs are first, make sure that they have the confidence that I'm the right person for them, and then I ask if there's a budget, then I mention what I charge. But you want to make sure you ask that question because a lot of times you may be on different understanding levels and you don't want to run into that situation. You want to ask if there's a budget. Next, B is be sure of your fees. Whatever it is that you charge, some people say when you're getting it over 50% of the time, then you can increase your fees. I would say, you know what, be comfortable in what you charge, and when you're getting it enough for you, when you're getting it often enough for you, every 6 months or so, look at your fees to see, hey, should I be raising them up? Now, when it comes to your fees, make sure you have them written down somewhere, because there have been times when I was early on and I would get called by, whether it's a principal of a school or an organizer of an event, and I would say, is there a budget? Yes. And then they would say, what do you charge? And then I'd be racking my brain thinking, okay, what do I charge for this speech or this package? And there's just too much uncertainty in the way I delivered it that I didn't feel confident delivering it, and I don't think they felt confident hearing it. So now when I get on the call, I know exactly what I charge for what market, for what speech. This is what I charge for a presentation. This is what I charge for a half-day training. And I just say the number and I feel confident because I'm sure of it and I have it written down. So whatever your fees are, have them written down, know them, and be sure of exactly what you charge for what talks. C is for calling them. I love getting on a Zoom call or a phone call with an organizer because that way I can talk to you about what your needs are, what you need from an event, what do you want the people to take away from this event. I can do all of that, and then I can tell you what I provide, and we can talk back and forth, and you can gain confidence that I'm the person for you. That's what the call is, just to build your confidence in who I am, what I speak about, and just that personality to make sure that they put a face to a name. They don't just see pictures or video on a website. They meet me and they know, okay, I care about the needs of your audience. That way, by the time I get to the fee, they already have in their mind, hey, this person knows what they're talking about. They care about the needs of my group, and I feel confident that they're the right person. Let's just see if I can afford them. Finally, the big reveal. When you say your speaker fee, D is for don't say anything after. What do you charge? I charge $5,000 for a fee, for a speech. If that's what you charge, then say nothing. Let them say the next words. Try your best not to say anything. If they come back to you and you need to negotiate budget, that type of thing, absolutely do that. But state your fee, be sure of it, and don't say anything. Let them say the next words. There's an old saying that says the person who speaks first after fees are mentioned loses. So try your best not to say anything after you've stated your fees. Take a deep breath and let them respond. So there you have your ABCDs for speaker fees. Those are the rules that I've learned. on my journey. If you have rules or things that you've learned about speaker fees, please let me know what you think of this video and what rules you've learned about fees below. And I hope this helped.